there. Today I'm making a trifle with the raspberries, mango and passion fruit, and this recipe is really popular and is always a winner, so I thought I might show you all how to make it. Alright, so what we will need to make this trifle is we'll need some madeira cake. I just got this from Woolies. They come in 450 gram lots. I reckon this trifle is so much better with more cake, so I got 2 of them. And you'll need some icing sugar. It's just some stuff I had in the cupboard. Vanilla essence, use the cheap stuff because you've got to use a fair bit of it. But you can use like the expensive stuff if you want to. Some frozen raspberries. We need at least 300 grams, preferably 400. This is a 500 gram packet, so that should do the trick. And you need mango. Normally I use fresh, but today I could only buy frozen because Woolies didn't have any today. So, but this should still do the trick nicely. And I won't have to chop it up as a perk. So I've got 500 grams there. I'm not really sure how much I'm going to need, so I do have a second packet in the freezer just in case I need it. But hopefully this will do. And we've got custard. You can use whatever brand of custard you like. For this trifle, I do prefer a thick custard. I just think it works a little better. And we will need 300 mils of thickened cream and 2 sweet passion fruit. How do you tell if a passion fruit will be sweet? Well, I reckon the best way to do it is to see if the skin's kind of wrinkled, because that's usually a sweeter passion fruit, I find, than if you've got a passion fruit that's got smooth skin. So wrinkly skin, like that. And we need 2 of them. And I will be posting the the actual recipe and the measurements, so if you couldn't keep up with that, that's fine. It should be in maybe, I don't know, the comments. I haven't decided yet. But it will be there. Alright, so to get stuck into this trifle, you will want to start by chopping up your cake. That out of the way. You can make the cake yourself if you want to, but I think this is just so quick and so easy when you just get these ones from Woolies. So it's a madeira cake, which is like, it's got like a lemon citrusy sort of undertone. So it's really good for summery sort of things. So you just want to cut cake like into slice about that thick, like that, and then ta-da, just like that. There we go. So we've cut up all the cake now into the correct allocation. Sorry about that, my partner is just calling me. Sorry about that, that's my partner calling. So we've cut up all that cake and I'm putting some rubbish in the bin. If you clean up as you go along, it makes life so much easier, trust me. So then what we can start to do, so you get an idea about what we're going to do, because this is a layered trifle, is you'll end up putting little squares of cake, just like this. And you can cut them to size again if you need to, so if they're a bit big. So we'll move on to the next part of our trifle now, which is the raspberries. So we need a scale and a bowl. Bowl on scale, scale on. Raspberries open with scissors. Because it's in the pack. So you want 300 grams of raspberries. So just pour them in. I should also mention you want a microwave-proof bowl for this. doesn't matter if you go slightly over too, because I've sort of originally the recipe called, the original recipe that I use calls for 300 grams, but I've modified it to have extra cake, so, you know. So what we want to do is we want to start microwaving these raspberries to get them sort of fully defrosted and kind of a bit soggy, but not too hot, not even warm really ideally, but hey. So I reckon on a defrost setting works best because you've got better control then. But I mean, it's up to you. If you don't mind, if you're impatient and don't mind slightly warmer raspberries, then, you know, whack it on full throttle. So I've just whacked it in the microwave, and while we wait, we can do the icing sugar part of our raspberry mixture. So you need 2 tablespoons of icing sugar, and the recipe calls for you to sift it, but I'm going to take this opportunity to show you a cool little trick for if you don't have a sift or don't want to pull it out and clean it for 2 tablespoons of icing sugar. To get your 2 tablespoons, pop them in a little bowl, get a fork, and you can just mash them up. Like, it's not going to give you the same result, quite the same result as if you'd sifted them, but for 2 tablespoons, you're just trying to sort of press it against the sides to get out all the big lumps. So our icing sugar is now significantly less lumpy, though it's still a little lumpy. But that's a cool trick for if you're feeling lazy or don't have a sift. So now we're just waiting on our raspberries. We'll check on them. So our raspberries are coming along nicely. We've got probably a little slow. Oh, my camera's gone. Sorry about that. My camera decided it didn't want to play the game, and now I'm kind of crooked, but I think that's just what we're going to have to live with until I get a decent camera. Sorry about that. So, back to the raspberries. At this point, you can add your icing sugar if you want. Get it out of the way, don't rest it, maybe microwave it in a little bit. So you've just poured your icing sugar into your mushy raspberry mixture, and you just want to stir that the icing sugar in. If you hate mushing things and love to utilise your tools, you can pull out a food processor and zap it in there, but I find the effort of cleaning a food processor is sometimes not worth it when I have to get a bowl out to microwave the raspberries anyway, so that's just me. Plus there's something satisfying about, like, you know, pulverizing a bunch of raspberries. Alright, so you've got your raspberry paste puree, like that. So that's ready. That means we're nearly ready to go. Sorry, I've just got a new bottle of vanilla, so I'm just getting the lid off that. Get it out of the way. If you had normal mangoes, you chop them up now into little cubes. I've got Woolworths that's kindly already done that for me, so these are what my cubes look like of mango from Woolworths. That's about the size you want if you're doing it yourself too. And if you're doing it yourself, the mangoes, you need 3 large mangoes. Alright, we are ready. So we've already got the first layer of our cake in. So now what we do is we utilise those mussels I don't have to get the lid off the vanilla. And you want to pour a little cup of vanilla in there. I think the original recipe that I've modified this off called for sherry, but I'm not a huge fan of alcohol, so can't really afford it. And like a lot of my friends aren't on their opens yet, so a little bit of sherry that's uncooked would kind of send them over their limit, so I've just omitted the sherry for imitation vanilla essence, which works a treat. And you can use a spoon if you'd like. Get like a big nice blob of your raspberry mix and just spread it over the top of the cake nice and evenly. You don't want the layer too thick, but you do want it to cover the whole of the cake. So you want it to look something like that. Alright, I've just got my cake on flying on each other, but that's okay. So something like that. Then your mango. So I'm noticing now, this is the first time I've ever used frozen mango, so some of the cubes are kind of stuck together, so if you are going to opt for frozen mango, try and get the cubes a little unstuck. And big handful. Just like that. I should probably get a tea towel because my hands are all sticky now. I'm going to crack the lid off your custard. This is a 1 kilo lot of custard. I don't think I'll use the whole lot, but I don't know if I can really tell you how to use a precise measurement of this because this is what I do literally. So you want maybe 4 sort of dollops of custard to come out, and you kind of just you want to go a little easy on the custard because this trifle does end up being really liquidy if you don't watch it, but you do want it at the same time, like the raspberry, you do want it to kind of cover anything. So what I do is I get one of these things or a spoon, any sort of similar utensil will do the job, and you just sort of put colourful blobs in there and then poke it around so it sort of covers the whole lot. And you probably will have some mango and raspberry poking through. So then we start all over again. This is what I'm talking about too with the breaking it up into pieces. Don't need to be specific, you can just whack off some, tear a bit up and poke it in there. Hello, sorry about that. I just realised that my camera decided to die right when I was in the middle of filming that last one, but that's okay because we didn't miss much. Our trifle is nearly complete. It now looks like that. So we've got cake, vanilla, raspberry, mango, custard, cake, repeat. I think we ended up with 3 layers of cake and we've just finished at the top on custard. So now what we're going to do is whip some cream. So we've got 300 mils of thickened cream. Just a Woolies brand, nothing special. And I am going to be using my baby, my mixer. But if you haven't got a mixer, you can use one like this. You can use those little handheld whisks if you like. It'll all turn out the same. Or if you're really dedicated and have a lot of muscle, you could also whisk it by hand, but that would take a while. I definitely think that at the very least a little handheld whisk is worth the investment. Alright, so what we're doing is we're whipping the cream, so that means we want to go up through the settings on this thing until we get to whipping, but not straight to whipping because otherwise cream will fly everywhere. So just at number 2 now, light mixing. 3, 4, and 5. Whipping. So while that's whipping away there, we'll get our passion fruits. I always just top the very little top bit off the passion fruit. You can smell usually if it's a sweet one or a sour one. Or you can dunk a bit and taste it if you're not so sure. Again, if it's not a sweet passion fruit, it's probably not worth chucking it in there in this case. It's a sweet one. So those are ready to go once our cream is ready. And our cream's coming along really nicely. It's starting to get nice and whipped and fluffy. But we're going to go a little longer. Alright, our cream is officially looking super whipped. This is called a balloon whisk as well. So as you can see, we've got some lovely, beautiful cream. The other thing to mention is if for some reason you are doing, like, I don't know, double the amount of cream because you really love cream, it still works well to do it in a 300ml batch. But, well, I find anyway with my machine because it just, you end up with a better whip, I think. So, whipped cream, passion fruit. You just want to dig out the passion fruit and whack it straight in. Alright, so now what we're doing is we're going to fold the, I've got custard on my spatula. So we're just going to fold the passion fruit through the cream. So folding's kind of like light mixing, and the reason we're doing folding instead of mixing is because we don't want to like unwhip our cream, I guess you could say. We want our cream to stay fluffy. So I've just started by poking the sides of the cream down to the middle, and then you just put this in the middle and just work like that, just rotate it. And I reckon that's the pretty surefire way to get a decent fold going of, you know, making sure your passion fruit's evenly distributed through the cream and at the same time not losing that lovely fluffiness. So then we just spatula the cream on top. And just poke it out gently so it just starts covering the surface a little. Just like that. So now, we're nearly done. We're so close to being done. You just want to top it off with some raspberries. And you can use fresh ones if you like. The original recipe I've based this on, it does call for fresh, but I am a poor uni student, so frozen it is. The fresh ones would probably look a little nicer, but I think this is still pretty enough. And then we just have a little mango as well. So once this is done, you want to pop it in the fridge until you're ready to serve it. Personally, I reckon this is best if it's been in the fridge overnight before you serve it, because like all the flavours kind of meld together a little bit, and it's just really nice. But you can serve it with after 2 hours, I reckon, would be the minimum. You could serve it straight away if you're really impatient, but... Alright, I'll just wash my hands. So, that is a trifle. A really easy, show-stopping, delicious trifle. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer any, and I really hope that you have a crack at making this trifle and enjoy it.